Maurene Comey, the daughter of the ex-FBI director James Comey, has been fired from the U.S. Attorney's Office there in the Southern District of New York. Remember, she just worked on the Diddy trial. She also has worked on the Epstein case. The Associated Press has it as follows, that the DOJ has fired Maurene Comey. Now, she is the daughter, like I said, of James Comey. She was a prosecutor in the federal cases against Diddy Combs and Jeffrey Epstein. That's according to two people familiar with the matter telling the AP that today. There was no specific reason, though, given for her firing from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York. Now, her termination comes shortly after she prosecuted Combs, who was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering charges. The rapper was convicted of those lesser prostitution-related offenses. Remember, he'll be sentenced in October. Now, the DOJ recently appeared to acknowledge the existence of an investigation into James Comey, though the basis for that inquiry is unclear. Remember, he was abruptly fired by President Trump in Trump's first term in 2017. So, this might be news to you. Maybe you don't even know. James Comey has a daughter who worked in the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York on very high-profile cases, like the Diddy Combs case, like the Epstein saga. So she was an assistant prosecutor there in the office. Remember, that was one of the office's most costly prosecutions, and they, according to our legal experts, really came up short. This was a very expensive prosecution, and they did not get a conviction on the most serious charges for Diddy. Remember those charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. He was acquitted on those charges, though Diddy, remember, was convicted of lesser prostitution-related offenses. So, Maurene Comey worked on that case. If you were following our coverage of the Diddy trial, and we had that static shot, that camera angle, that vantage point outside the doors of the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan, you would, from time to time, when court was over for the day, see the prosecutors walk out and go home. I remember watching live, seeing Maurene Comey walk out with some of her colleagues after trial was done for the day. Now, the Associated Press has it as follows. There was no specific reason given for her firing. So the AP and others will have to do some more reporting on that, on whether or not this was, warranted, for cause. What? Why was she fired?